Hello, everybody, and welcome to What Freaking Day Is It? I am Jessica Roberts. I will be your host on this crazy fun evening. Let me just tell you right now, I am on like five. Oops, and welcome to What. I forgot to turn my volume off. Anyway, I just want to tell you I had like a really cool afternoon. Actually, I had a really cool day. Started the day with the UK punt off, and then I got to transition in the afternoon to a really awesome table read by the whole cast, minus the dead people, from The Princess Bride. And it was magical, and it was everything that we really kind of needed right now. And Billy Crystal was awesome with it. It was great. It was super fun. Oh, wow. Another thing, we've got to shout out to those lovely firefighters that are kicking ass and taking names. If you believe in whatever you believe in, let's do some rain dances and shit. And please, we really need some rain, please. Yes. It's just crazy. And don't forget to give it out for those awesome teachers out there who literally are kicking ass and taking names. Not literally, but they are in a sense. They're working around the clock. They're having to teach their own kids, keep their own house in order, battle unions, do all sorts of stuff. It's quite a feat. And then me, I'm doing at home school freaking learning with my kid. And I'm glad that I am not a teacher at current moment, but one day. On today's show, we're going to cover all sorts of stuff. We're going to cover crappy movies that we don't like. We're going to talk about some Marvel superheroes. I kind of picked out Guardians of the Galaxy. It's one of my favorites. You could go Avengers, but I like Guardians. And then we're going to get into some weird shit like the Greeks do. Because, I have been studying. I've been just now starting ancient Rome and other stuff, and kind of went off on a wild tangent on Greek gods. I am not an expert at this. Let me remind you, I am not an expert at this, but from what I've read, it is literally some fucked up things that happen. So, it is what it is. We'll all see what happens here. It'll be fun. One of the folks that I want to introduce to you, he is super funny. Him and I have never met in real life, but we have met in the Facebook universe. Everybody, I would like you to give a very warm welcome to my friend Corday.
Hey, how we doing, y'all? How we doing?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? I forgot the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I forgot it. 1, 2, 3. They come.
It's okay. Like I said, this is a learning process. This is just us hanging out, goofing off, having some fun. So let's hear a little bit about you and them dazzling eyes.
Yeah, I'm just making fun because it's how when the people who got new phones, they're like, "Hey, can you hear, son? Hey, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?" The whole time they're yelling.
No, can you hear me? Huh? What'd you say? Huh? Back up. Oh, you can see me? Oh, is that better? Oh. And then they start showing the whole outfit all of a sudden. But oh yeah, but I ain't gonna do that because I'm chilling in my seat, so I'm chilling. I'm good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, so we're gonna learn a little bit about you. You're a comedian. You've been in the business how long?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
I've been 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A youngin'. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. Any hobbies that you like? Any particular point in history you deem interesting? What's your story, Morning Glory?
So history. Most of it for Black people isn't too good. Unless we talk about the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
But so my point of history that I like or enjoy, I took not a geography class, but a physical anthropology class. And we were doing the study of bonobos and how close they are to the makeup of humans. And I liked it Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. So I like to go back millions and millions of years when racism wasn't a thing. when we were just
running from fucking dinosaurs.
Exactly. We were walking on all fours. Then all of a sudden, Homo erectus just decided to walk. One day decided, I'm gonna fucking stop walking on my hands, and I'm gonna just walk straight up. All of a sudden, on two legs. All of a sudden, this. I'm just gonna do that now. I'm gonna switch the game up. Y'all walking on fours. I'm about to change this whole shit up, son. I'm about to.
Yeah. So basically, they went from walking on all fours to upright. Maybe they figured my back feels better when I'm not hunched over running around on all fours.
Survival of the fittest, survival of the fittest. And then, and so I think her name is Lucy, and we don't know if it's we don't know if it's a guy or a girl, because a man's penis, the organ, disintegrates over thousands of years. So because we don't know if it was a man or a female, we just say it's Lucy because the organism of it is just seems like it's a female, because we couldn't find the penis because it dissolves over 25 million years.
Trust me, we will get into that whole subject a little later in Greek stuff. But I'm going to bring up the next folk. I'm going to let you slide back down, and we will bring you back a little bit later.
Okay.
All right, my friend. We're bringing in Cynthia.
Hi.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Like I said, I've had a really rocking day. So, and then last night I went and did a real life comedy show, with people, and I totally shortened my set on accident because in the corner of my eye I saw the host running back up, and I'm like, oh my god, I ran the light because I couldn't find it. But I didn't. I was actually very short, but hey, it was short, sweet, and to the point, kind of like me.
But I was really curious because he said they found Lucy, right? But I always think usually anthropologists use the pelvis of the person to determine whether or not it's a male or a female, because males have more narrow pelvises.
Yeah, and women have the attractable one or whatever. It kind of opens up the crack.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it might just be that they don't know because they don't have enough parts. Because I actually went to Kenya, the Natural History Museum. They had a recreation of Lucy. They have a really, really, really nice natural history museum. So great. Ooh. You guys should definitely go to Nairobi.
Definitely plugging
that. They had a recreation of Lucy, and then they were only parts of the bones. So I don't think, maybe it's because they don't have everything.
Well, they should just be able to do a little DNA test and find out if it's male or female, right? It would make sense if they have at least part of the skeleton. There has to be some form of DNA in there.
Yeah, I would have to look into that because I know that DNA just gets really tricky the older the subject is. It's really easy
to there could be cause for error. I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. Think about that.
So, my dear, what are you into? That's a mighty lovely shirt you have on.
Thank you. It is a Secret Wars shirt. Shout out to the real nerds. Actually, no, there's no such thing as real or fake nerds, but shout out to the comic book nerds out there.
Shout out to the ones who know what this means.
Yeah, if you don't know, Secret Wars is one of the best crossover comics ever. It was literally a battle between good and evil where a bunch of superheroes were just all of a sudden transported onto a strange world, and then a bunch of villains were also transported to the same world. And then I think it was the Beyonder that was just I just want to watch what if good or evil will win. It's a crazy story. It changed a lot of things. It brought the X-Men, the Avengers. There was Magneto there. There was Dr. Doom. It's just everyone that's
basically it was a balls to the walls, just free for all for good versus evil.
It's a really good.
That sounds like a fun read. I'm gonna have to find that. If you can, I don't know if you have it, but if you know the comic book and number and all that other stuff, that'd be great.
I can find it.
Yeah, send it to me. I'd love to read it.
I think a random thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said random. I love random. Let's do it.
Random thing. If you ever read X-Men, you know that there's like this weird relationship that happened between Colossus or Peter and that, you know, the guy who like turned into metal, and then what's her name? The girl that could phase through things.
Oh,
Kitty Pryde. There you go. Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, she was like 14, and I think he was either 18 or 20. And like the comic book writers are just like a bunch of guys, just like, who cares? This is going to be sensational.
Nobody's gonna give a shit. Like, as long as there's a cute story, it's all good.
Yeah, and it was like so controversial too, because Peter was just like, I like you, but like you're so young, and she's just like, I'm a woman. I'm like, bitch, you're 14.
Well, you gotta look at Romeo and Juliet. He was a grown man and she was a child, but yet everyone loves this. They absolutely love this story because it's about love and everything. And it's like, dude, he's a fucking pedophile. Like, but back in those days, it wasn't considered that because, you know, whatever, their laws and morals or whatever. But yeah, Romeo and Juliet, like it's a cute idea, but like, it's so played out. I don't know.
But I'm just going to say that in Secret Wars, there's an interesting sub-story where Peter / Colossus meets the love of his life on that planet.
Oh, no.
And then he cheats on Kitty, which pissed me off at the time. But now I'm like, I mean, he cheats on Kitty for the love of, because like he was dating the 14-year-old, then he met a woman like his age, they fell in love with on that planet, right? And then he, in the end, just like fucking broke her heart. And like, I think she ended up dying or some shit. And also the Fantastic Four, I forgot to mention. But yeah, she ended up like dying. And it was just so bad. And he came back. And then she's like, what the hell happened? Like, you just disappeared and you come back. I think it was like a week gap or like a few days. But for them, it was like a month.
We were on a break! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then he was just like, I can't do it.
We were on a break.
And then she's just like, you've been gone for like a week. He's like, no. So yeah, funny. If you ever like romantic, X-rated, illegal love subplots, definitely read X-Men and Secret Wars. It's a good combo.
I will definitely give it a try. We're gonna bring up my friend Deb Moore next, and then I will see you back here in a little bit. Oh, where is she? Oh, there she is. Hi, beautiful. Hello, darling. How are you, Miss Deb?
Hi, Ms. Roberts. You look so pretty. I'm so honored to be on your show.
Oh, thank you. It took an hour.
Well, you know, once I found the browser and knew how to work the settings, that's all.
You know, this is a new program for me as well. And I like it more than Zoom because I can put my background, I can put a ticker. It's easier than the OBS system that a lot of people are using, but OBS is really difficult for me. There's too many buttons and like, it's just frustrating. So I went with this.
I'm glad you found what worked. I missed most of that. I'm very busy with my image.
Well, you got like you got like the 90s angsty beanie thing going on, you know, so
that's what I was shooting for. Exactly. Not that the temperature just dropped 10 degrees or anything like that.
Yeah. How is the weather in San Francisco? You guys smoke the fuck out?
Francisco. Guess what? I have no idea because on the weekends, my housemate takes the dog out and I'm hiding.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been pretty smoky here.
Yeah.
It's been really nasty.
You're so lucky you can wear makeup. I can't do eye makeup in the smoke. So you get me natural. Otherwise,
you know what? Sometimes natural is the best light because trust me, usually I don't wear a lot of makeup. I have been starting to wear more because I'm performing and doing stuff on camera a little bit more, and I don't want to look like a hood rat housewife kind of thing. So, well, I'm not a hood rat, and I'm no longer married.
Is that what I look like? Because I'm not wearing.
No. Oh, come on, no.
Oh,
no, you look fantastic. I love your skin. It's great.
Yeah. No, but that's the funny thing about now we're confronted with ourselves.
Yeah.
And obsessive. It's not a narcissism necessarily. It's more an OCD.
Yeah, definitely. So a little bit about you. How long have you been in comedy? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
It's funny. I was thinking about it. The dog he's very central in my life. And
did you say central?
Central. The dog.
I thought you said sexual. I was like, wait a minute here.
Oh.
But it's because I can't hear in the
you know what? It's because I was listening to Cynthia talking about that comic book series, and I'm Freudian slip. I infested my dog. So it's coming out. So.
It happens.
No, he's very central, and so I came back to comedy last year at the beginning of the year. And the last time I was doing stand-up, the dog was around 1 or 2. So like a 12-year gap wherein I had to do some intensive treatment.
Okay.
Yep. For trauma and eating disorder. And now I'm better.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's very good to get help for those things. And if you want to plug places where people can get that help, it's always a good thing, because you never know who's watching. If you're comfortable, you don't have to.
I think I have to. I'm in a fellowship, and I have a great psychologist whose name I'm not giving to anybody.
You're like, that's mine. It is mine alone. I
don't need her to get moved here. So
yeah, no, it's fine.
Tough shit on that, everybody.
Well, you know what? I'll do my own personal research, and I'll find ways where people can reach out if you have an eating disorder, mental health issues, or anything like that. Because right now during COVID, it's very important to really kind of try and hold on to whatever sanity you have. Because like I said, I teach my kid, and I'm her personal assistant, and
yeah. Well, we're all facing a big test right now, and the more we can connect to each other, just like our comedy community has found on these online shows, and we're supporting each other, and we're
didn't Savage Henry just do like 24 hours of shows? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
And then also in my neck of the woods, there's a comedy venue called Stab Comedy Theater, Stab Theater, and they have literally from the beginning just kept on going. Every day there is some form of comedy, of playing games with people, just doing all sorts of stuff. Have to give it out to Mr. Jesse Jones for that. He's been kicking ass and taking names. Also, that graphic that you saw at the beginning of the show was made by a friend of mine named Mr. Nick Johnson. And it was just, he was fantastic. I told him, I said, I want 90s, give me something, a little poppy, give me some colors and everything, and he absolutely delivered. You can also catch him, my friend Danny D, and my buddy Rob on a podcast called Gag on This. Another thing that I've been into is puns lately. You can catch me on the UK Pun Off on October 4th. So that's going to be really fun. And locally here to Sacramento, there is the Capital Punishment Show. The guys over there really know how to bring it. I'm going to steal their tagline. It's basically 8 Mile meets dad jokes. It is freaking great. Like, I can't do that show because I need time to think of my puns, but they're just like, they just fire them off left and right. And you can find them on Twitch. So nice. It's a crazy time to be a comedian and things like that. I'm also going to be on such, it's so crazy. Yes, dear.
Let me just plug Chicks with Mics.
Yes, I was going to say, you've asked me for that.
For women comics, and we promote women producers,
yep,
hosts, their shows, co-ed, women, whatever. And then we also run our own open mic international on Saturdays. It's a
Yes,
community.
I think I've been on that one once. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Alrighty, so we've gotten through all the plugging and stuff that I'm going to do. I'm going to bring a couple of the other folks back, and we're going to dive into these topics that I have. Our first one is movies you can't stand. And so I'm going to bring back Miss Cynthia, and I'm bringing back Corday. We are going to fill up these columns. Hey guys, you guys back? Back up, Corday. Back up.
Oh, y'all can see me? Y'all can see me? Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm sorry.
All right. So I know that for me personally, I have movies that I can't stand to watch. I can't stand that I watched them. One of them for me is Gone Girl. I've never wanted to punch my TV as much as when I saw that movie because of how vindictive and cuntish this girl is. And she's so horrible. But at the same time, like, you just look at Ben Affleck and you're like, I feel sorry for you. Like, it was, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. If you haven't, I would not recommend, well, I guess you can watch it. I mean, it's up to you. But like me personally, I've never wanted to punch a television more in my life than watching that movie and any fucking Paranormal Activity movies. I'm deathly afraid of those. I chicken shit out. Nope. I tried watching the first one, and right there at the end, I wasn't ready for it. And it was 2:00 in the morning in studio apartments, and I screamed my ass off that the neighbors called the cops thinking I was getting murdered. And I was like, no, it's just a scary movie, and I'm kind of a pussy. Sorry. So, but yeah, those are mine. I don't know about yours.
For me, go ahead. Who's speaking first?
I was gonna say Transformers. It's like every movie it's like a shitty, bad, good movie to watch. Like, you don't watch Transformers to think, you watch for a Michael Bay explosion. Like, that's it. It's just like you're like the dudes in the house and like the toaster turns into a robot and then it explodes. That's why you watch it. There's like no logical plot or sequence. Like, literally, it started out with like, oh, the Decepticons are here. We are here to stop them. And then it was like, oh, we found this secret orb or key or whatever, and it could destroy the world. And then it's like, oh wait, no, we found a thing that could create new robots and stuff. And then it's like, oh wait, actually, we were here before you guys. We created and destroyed all the dinosaurs. And then there's like a scene of the robots turning into mechanical dinosaurs. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, where do you? And then the thing that's ridiculous about this. Okay, there's so many scenes where this dude, he's literally just like a mechanic, and somehow him and his 2 kids save the fucking world. Actually, no, his daughter and the boyfriend, right? Like, literally, they're like infiltrating the Decepticon base or whatever, and somehow he can.
Wait, are you talking Mark Wahlberg version?
You're talking about Wahlberg. That's Mark Wahlberg version.
The other one.
I got to Transformers 4 without warning everyone, but Transformers 4. Him and his girlfriend, his daughter and the boyfriend are in the base or whatever, and they somehow take over a Decepticon little fire scooter thingy, and then he somehow takes a huge ass gun and fires it off perfectly as a mechanic, and somehow can also fly a fucking mini saucer around. And I'm just like, this dude is a mechanic. Like,
those movies are definitely not one for like, oh my God, I have to know the plot line. It's like, they're here, there's going to be blowing up, somebody saves the day. Like, it's not going to be any jaw-dropping thing. Like, Optimus Prime, tries to do his, and we were here, and like, he tries to like get you with some sort of speech and like weird ass sloganeering kind of shit to make you want them to be here. But then at the same time, you're just like, but wait, y'all been here already, and you could have helped us already, but you just sat in a junkyard. You suck.
Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg was mechanic.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
he was an inventor. He was an inventor.
Yeah.
Oh, that really presses the suspension of disbelief, doesn't it, for Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah,
too?
I mean, it would be
Yeah,
like
because
me
I
who's
just
like
every
nothing
time
but
I
a
see
comic
him-
going into that movie, and somehow I can pilot like a plane and like shoot off an AK-45 perfectly, and like fend off the American military or some shit that's like coming after us. Like what?
Sounds like Rey in Star Wars. Just all of a sudden she got powers.
Hey, don't you dare talk about my Star Wars, sir. Don't you dare talk about my Star Wars. She didn't all of a sudden have powers. She had them.
She
didn't know
didn't.
She used them.
She
Just
didn't.
like Luke.
They were.
You want to
She
go
did.
with
She
Rey,
didn't just
you gotta
make.
go
She
with
didn't just
Luke.
make it. She didn't make a lightsaber come out of nowhere and just fly across all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden she beat this.
But wait a minute. If you want to go do that with Rey,
Use the
also have to
Force.
you have to bring that in with Luke Skywalker because he didn't know he had any fucking Jedi powers either.
But he didn't use them.
Older than Rey. So yeah, don't trash talk my Star Wars, okay?
But nobody told her to use the Force. They told him to use the Force in the first movie when he shot it and then it went up. He said that Obi-Wan told him. Nobody told her. She just started using powers all of a sudden.
The patriarchy, man. The patriarchy. They don't like powerful women.
And it's not that. No, I just wanted an explanation.
Thank you.
I just wanted an explanation.
Wow.
I just wanted an explanation.
Immersive guest, Corday.
Okay. Also, so if we talk about Transformers, we're gonna get back in that. It wasn't Mark Wahlberg because it was the last night, right? It was the last night one, right?
There
the
was
fourth
two of those atrocities of Transformers that he was in.
See, I didn't watch that one, but I heard the last night one.
5? Did I miss a 5? I thought there was only 4.
I think it was 4.
Because you have the first. Wait.
First, Revenge of the
Fallen,
Dark Moon, and then there's 5. There's 5. There is 5.
There is 5.
Oh, shit.
Technically 6.
I mean, what is the 5th one? Is it like we created the universe?
It's the dinosaur. It's the dinosaur one. It's number 4, and then last night is the 5th one.
So you have the Transformers. You have the second one, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Dark Moon.
Transformer: Dark
Moon.
The
dinosaur one was that's the one I hate personally.
The Age of Extinction, and then the other one. Technically, if you really want to like be technical, there was 6 because of Bumblebee.
I said that. Yeah.
But yeah, so it was the Age of Extinction, and then the last night is the one that you're talking about, where he's flying that shit around.
I didn't watch last night.
Mark Wahlberg was more believable as a junkie in Basketball Diaries than a fucking mechanic.
I was like, why would I watch the last night? I saw Age of Extinction. Them animals was in it for about 8 minutes. Also, in Age of Extinction, they literally wasted a whole hour of time. Like they was like, okay, we're gonna take the Autobots up here, and we got some aliens to come down, and we're gonna go up there, and we're gonna go, and then we're gonna destroy that, and they're gonna come back down to Earth, and they literally picked up from Earth, and like nothing happened. You could erase all that.
If they got you $15, they don't care that they wasted.
No, they don't. They're just like, we'll just put whatever. When they re-entered Endgame back into the theaters with new scenes, and it was the worst CGI of freaking the Hulk that you've ever seen. Like I could have stand there with green face and just been like, rah! Like that would have been better.
Endgame?
What are you talking about? Endgame? What are you talking
about? They re-released Endgame with extra footage. And it was just like in the end credits and stuff, and it was the Hulk, and it was like really shitty CGI. It was either Endgame or it was Infinity War.
Maybe it was Infinity, because I remember Endgame looking pretty okay. Like,
it was they had already gone through the whole Endgame. It was all there. Then they're like, we're gonna re-release it with more footage because we want to hit that $1 billion mark, and it wasn't even anything to write home about. It was horse shit. So
no, they was trying to break the Avatar's record of 2-point-something billion. It was already at billion.
They had already hit their billion.
Yeah, they was trying to break that record, which they did. And I was like, extra scenes. I'm like, this thing already about 3 hours. I'm good. I don't need no extra scenes.
Yeah, no. I was like, I'll wait for the director's cut if this is what we're doing.
But also,
Was that?
the first two Transformers was good.
More for your money.
Yeah, I do. It started going bad at 3. And
It's
then,
like right now they're trying to charge $30 to watch Mulan on TV, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I understand you guys are trying to get your money back, but we're all at home. I can spend $30 at a movie theater. Like, I don't want to spend $30 at home. I already got all my snacks. I don't want to pay $30 fucking dollars.
But-
It's so hard
but 30
for me to watch a movie like Transformers because I've been poor so long. I'm so cheap, and
Thank
all
you.
I can do. But I'll read movie industry news, and I know and they shove it in your face now anyway. That it used to just be trade stuff if you wanted to read the trade papers, but now they put it in your face like $300 million. Like we're all supposed to be impressed about overspending, about wasting money, and all I can do is like 300 million for this garbage. It's not even a good story. And okay, one of the scenes in this movie could feed kids who are living in cars in this country. I mean, it could. I don't know.
So could the bailouts that are given to the banks, though. So I mean, like, it's entertainment. They've got so many tax breaks and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
They could
into it.
That's why I only watch movies on $7 Tuesdays. Like,
I don't even
$7.
pay for mine, but I'm probably going to go to jail for saying that.
No, I sneak in the movies. I buy one ticket and I go and I see several. Like, so $30. Like, literally, y'all was talking about
what he said.
I used to do that. So, like, nowadays it's like, again, $7 Tuesdays. I got work the next day. I'm just like,
literally. So literally sneaking in the movies because $30. You said spending $30 at the movie theater. That's just popcorn and an icy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta give up your first one if you want some candy. Like, some.
Literally, I remember I got like all this candy. I was racking up. I was like, this gonna be good. I got everything I need in here. I got Reese's Pieces, some Red Vines, these little chocolate malt things and stuff like that. Oh, it's gonna be good.
No, I love sneaking in my own food. Like, I snuck in like a burrito, some potato chips. I brought in food from home once. That was great.
My grandma took me to see Freddy 3D, right? With my sisters. We were hella young. She took me to go see Freddy 3D. She had a trench coat on, dude. She had bean burritos in the pockets. She had sodas. She had candy. She smelled like a bean burrito. You knew she was like sneaking some shit in, right?
Your grandma's the real one.
Nobody's gonna go after grandma. Hell no. Nobody was gonna go after grandma. So like we're sitting there, we're opening our bean burritos from Taco Bell. We got the, and everyone's just looking at us. And my grandma's like, "What? Y'all should have planned ahead." My grandma was crazy, dude. My grandma was freaking awesome. She just look at people and be like, "Try me," and I'm just like, "I love you, grandma." And she's like, "Good. Eat your bean burrito. Shut up and put your 3D glasses on." And like, God, it was nuts.
So in 2012. Me and my cousin did the Marvel Marathon. We watched all 5 movies leading up to the first Avengers movie. I snuck out of class. I didn't even sneak. I just left early because I had like 2 classes. I went to one, didn't go to the other. And then I went to get Chinese food. And then I was like chubby. So I was like, I literally could put the Chinese food underneath my coat and you couldn't even tell. They just thought it was like my stomach. I walked in the theater. And then like I sit down, like what we missed. And like I think we was in the middle of the Incredible Hulk or something like that, right? And then, they watched Iron Man, but I missed Iron Man 2. And I was like, well, I don't give a fuck about Iron Man 2. That shit whack. So then I pull out my Chinese food. I pull out my Chinese food. And then my cousin like, what's that? I'm like, Chinese food? He was like, let me get some. I'm like, motherfucker, I see the shit y'all got.
There's always somebody that's like, hey, let me get a bite. And you're like, no.
He was like, you ain't gonna share? I'm like, y'all ate y'all food. I can't even get none of the food y'all had.
Can I just say something? Most of the Iron Man movies are just literally Tony Sparks cleaning up the fucking messes he created.
Of course.
Like, the mess that his father and him created. But you have to think about it though. Like he went to in the first one. He got the little thing in his chest. Yeah. He saw what his shit did. And he spent almost every waking moment since then trying to rectify.
He did.
And ultimately, in the end, when he snapped and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm Iron Man," like, you know, he made the ultimate sacrifice. So yeah, he was cleaning up all this shit, but at the same time, it took an act of absolute, like, showing him the human and the fucked up side of his billion-dollar industry for him to change it around and really try not to fucking do that. And
no, I definitely agree. Honestly, I still feel like the biggest motivator is like he just wanted to get Peter back. Because like they like set that relationship up as like this surrogate father-son thing. And like he had a fucking picture of Peter the whole time that he kept looking at, just like, my son, my son. And like,
well, there was that, and plus it also kind of tries
when he's just like, Mr. Stark, and like Peter was disappearing in his arms.
Oh,
like,
dude, I don't care what anybody says. I cried like a baby when that shit happened. I did. I cried. I was like, no, not Peter.
I don't feel so good. I cried. I started a little bit when that happened, when he started to, you know, but when T'Challa, when T'Challa left, I lost my shit. I was like, we just go. I was like, I'm in the movie theater. We can't have nothing. For real.
Which I would like to point out real quick, just as a point of contention for me with Black Panther. I've spoke about it a little bit, but the way they killed off Killmonger immediately is one of my absolute irritants of Black Panther, because in the comics, Killmonger hands T'Challa his ass many a time, and it even takes over the mantle many a time as the new Black Panther. But I don't know if they were worried if the success of the movie was going to be as good as it was, because that movie kicked ass. I don't care what anybody says.
Beautifully written.
It was great. Yeah,
but it would have been nice to have Killmonger in longer, because what's that called? Your spank bank? I would have had more of him. No one else.
Well, so Killmonger, all those little dots on him.
Who doesn't want to sleep with them? Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, that's based off of, so I will say that Black Panther borrowed a lot from African culture and mythology. There's actually a tribe, I would say in like Central Africa, where like when you become a man, they like actually scar you. And they, everyone gets like a very unique scar, and usually it's on the face or somewhere, but like, it's very beautiful.
Well, they started that
and then they made it into like a
in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, they do that too?
Circumcised. Isn't that a scar?
Oh no, it's more. That's different. That's different.
No, that's completely different. Completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about like an actual, like kind of like actual, like I wish I'll send you guys pictures some other times, right?
Yeah.
I think what I like about that movie is that they borrowed a lot from African culture in a way and like wove it into the story. Like if you look at all,
they did it dignifyingly. They didn't do it very like shitty. You know what I'm saying? They tried to show respect for the culture.
Because a lot of Black people was involved. That's why.
If you guys could let me finish what I'm saying, please and thank you. Yeah, because like, so if you look at a lot of the 5 different villages, they basically borrow from 5 different cultures. Like they have the Himba culture, like if you remember the lady with like the long hair and like the little balls hanging out at the end. They took from Tanzanian and Kenyan Maasai culture in terms of like the outfits and like the clothing. They also took from I think Ugandan culture. They took from South African culture, and like even the languages they took a native language. I think it's I'm forgetting the name, but like they basically did it in a way where they were trying to represent different aspects of Africa and saying, hey, these are different factions that together make up Wakanda. To me, the amazing thing was like I kind of saw the parallel between T'Challa and Killmonger as a parallel between Malcolm X and MLK a little bit, where like like T'Challa is just like, no, let's be nonviolent. We don't want to get involved, but like also isolationist, right? We're just like they're like, we will not attack unless we're defended. And Killmonger is like, well, let's liberate. Like we've been oppressed for so long. Let's fight back. The only thing I don't like, and people love Killmonger, and I can see why, but what they ignore is that he had a lot of Hotep ideology, which is all he wanted to do was recreate Black patriarchy and have Black people on top, but then the same systems that like put women down and put other people down are going to still in place. I mean, he killed his fucking fiance. Like no one remembers that, but he killed her just to achieve his goals. I mean, he doesn't really care about Black women's life. Right. Whereas you see T'Challa, like literally he's surrounded by strong, powerful women and like he sees them with respect. Yeah. And a dark skinned girl, which is something to know.
He married Storm.
Yeah.
It was also a very tumultuous ending because she had to go take care of her shit and he had to take care of his. And if you want to read up on that, I believe it's the Avengers versus X-Men. I haven't actually read it, but from what people that I've talked to about him with, that's one of those that you have to read.
Yeah.
Can I throw out my movie series that I hate?
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got way sidetracked.
I'm here too.
Is anybody else experiencing faded sound?
No.
Just
you, Deb. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The Twilight series.
Oh, those
makes me
Look at her.
mental.
She's like, no.
I have to somewhat defend it.
Mental because it's
don't
like
you dare defend it.
Glamorizes. Let me give my dissertation. It glamorizes stalking. That's
And
what
very
that
unhealthy
is. And I'm like,
codependent.
they're taking little girls to see this and calling it romantic. That motherfucker was stalking Bella, and then Bella is supposed to be turned on instead of like, Dad, I'm scared. This guy is just talking up and I don't like his kind of superpowers, and I don't really know him, and like I'm a virgin, and I don't even date, and no, she's supposed to be turned on. It is so disturbing. Yes,
Look at her. She's like,
and then I'm so sorry, my dog,
But look, it not only, I mean, yes, I could understand the ideology behind it. I believe it was written by a Mormon lady, and she wanted to really show books that, like, that like showed purity and waiting before marriage, even if all this other shit was going on. Number one. Number two, it shows complete and very toxic codependency. Like when he leaves and she's just in her room screaming and shit. I'm like, I don't ever want to show my daughter these videos because she's going to think one day when a guy runs off on her that she gets to stay in her fucking room and scream and freak out like that. No, thank you.
No, they're doing the same tropes. They just recrafted. The Bella character is, supposed to be cool and independent seeming, but the story structure is the same. The plot.
Your dog loves Twilight.
Your dog's like, oh, I love Twilight. All right, hang on, wait.
No, so but the story is the same. She has to be rescued. He has to. She can't even, fight anybody.
But she actually rescues him when he tries to like kill her. So, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. But she actually saved him when he was like, I don't want to be anymore, to go show his sparkly skin to the Volturi thing or whatever. So, but this one down here is looking like she's about to have a heart attack. So we must have a rebuttal from Miss.
So it's like Corday on the Star Wars. I'm Cynthia's Corday.
Exactly. Hang on, Corday. Let her go because she looks like she's about ready to.
I was just gonna say one thing. How is it that these vampires can go outside in the daytime when you're not able to go outside in the daytime? That's my only thing. All I've heard about is vampires can't go outside,
Right.
but all of a sudden
Well,
they
it was
can,
cloudy
and
and
it's just
rainy.
cloudy. And it's
It
just cloudy.
explains that. It explains that it sparkles. Their skin sparkles. They don't poof up into smoke. They sparkle, and so basically everybody would know that something's different with them. That's why they go to Oregon or wherever.
Right.
with a
Or
celebration.
Seattle.
Exactly. Yeah, it was Seattle, somewhere there, where like it's like always cloudy and rainy.
Right. It wasn't.
I 100% agree with everything all of you has said. That I'm gonna agree. And I will say there are some times where Bella stalks Edward back, but it doesn't make it okay. It's not right. He's definitely in a position of power. I was just gonna say, as my teenage self, I remember reading the Twilight books and like waiting in the library for them to be available.
I think
It was that. It was the Harry Potter books that were like always gone. And
Yeah.
like it was literally one of the only books that actually forced people to read.
Was the story the same in the book?
Of course not.
It's a little bit different. The book
course
goes
not.
a little bit more in depth, but it's very similar. I haven't seen all the movies, but I saw like I think the first two.
So
and
she's stalked in the book.
Well, it's
Yeah,
kind of like any
And it's like
Well,
stalking
the thing is, they don't really go into it. So they go into that part, I think, more in like the unreleased book that got leaked and she never got to finish. But he did watch her sleep a few times. But like in the book, like
it just reminds me of the Sting song.
I guess, but
Yeah.
and that
her
movie's
book is from her
protecting her.
perspective, and it's very like she's extremely obsessive. Like she basically thinks of nothing but Edward. She watches him all the time in class. She's always thinking about it. Sometimes she's just like, "Where does he
her
go?"
smell? Like
So they
It's
frame
with
it
him.
as like some sort of like a connection because he's especially attracted to her scent for some reason that she can't stop thinking about him, right? So it's framed as like a love story. I think the thing that I was always wondering is like this dude is like 117 fucking years old, which means he's technically an adult, like who's interested in a teenager. I'm like, isn't this wrong? But then also, like, I never really thought of it back then.
Well,
but now
his
it's
body
like-
is that of a teenager, and he didn't do anything with her until she was over the age of 18, and they were married. So, I mean,
But it's called
Yeah.
grooming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But I don't think
that-
but I don't think it actually went down that way.
Like
because
that's
for the
honorable.
longest time, he was trying to stay away from her, and he was trying to like not encourage it and everything. And then she kind of
Not you.
Manager waited
No,
till he was 18
Shut
to marry her.
up. Hang on. Shut up, dogs. Sorry, I had to yell at him. My little chihuahua's yipping. Sorry, I wasn't telling you guys to shut up. I was talking to my
You
dog.
could.
I'm not. But one of the things that I wanted to cover, I mean, we kind of covered a little bit of Marvel. I wanted to do Guardians of the Galaxy, but we kind of like covered a whole bunch of like weird cinematic shit. So, but time is fleeting, and so I kind of want to get into the Greeks.
Okay.
So for those of you, and I'm I must make this disclaimer now. I am not an expert. I may fuck up somebody's name, but it is what it is. I've just started, like I said, I'm really kind of into history. Not kind of, I am into history, but my actual like really like good amount of history is kind of World War II, American Revolution, colonialism, and stuff like that. But it is getting a reawakening because I was fed the very non-real, a different narrative. So
whitewashed. Yeah.
thank you. I wanted to say that, but I didn't. Yeah, yes, it was whitewashed. Very, very whitewashed. Anyway, I'm gonna go over a couple of things. I'm gonna go over the gods real quick and kind of what they are. Just real quick.
If I hit refresh, tech moment. If I hit refresh, do I disappear?
Yes, and you can't hit refresh because it will kick you out, and then you have to come back in. So just stay. You're good. You're good.
People could just
I want you to
talk a little louder.
Stay with me. Anyway, so sorry, I couldn't help it. So we'll start with the 12. I am not going deep dive into this because literally we could be here all night and for like the rest of the week. So I'm just giving a very topical idea on the gods. So number one, you have Zeus. He's the god of thunder. He controls the weather. He likes to kind of dispense justice, keep order kind of between the gods and humanity. Hera, she is the wife of Zeus, also the sister, but we're not getting there yet. Hang on. She is the goddess of marriage and family. She's really most famous for her jealousy and mostly her jealousy towards Zeus's illegitimate children and the women there.
Yeah.
Also, she, I mean, just as a small
Zeus was
example,
polyamorous, but Hera didn't know it.
yeah, well, you know, he had all them side bitches. But and actually it wasn't just human, it was all things, but we won't go there as of just yet. Hang on. One of the things that Hera did, she literally drove fucking Hercules nuts, and he killed his wife and kid, and then that's when he went on his 12 what is it? 12, yeah, like 12 quests, or like he went again,
Yeah.
like I said, I know deep in my brain that there is something out there. It's his 12 feats or his 12 things that he had to do. It was something that he had to do to basically, you know, not feel, or whatever. He just did a journey to
redeem himself.
Yes, there we go. Now, the next one we have is Athena. She's the goddess of wisdom and war and crafts. I'm guessing crafts meant like potions and shit. Somebody has something blowing on them in the background, so be careful. She's argued to have been the wisest and most courageous. Now, I'll get to her story soon enough, too. Apollo, associated with the bow and music, young youth and beauty, source of life and healing. He's the patron of civilized arts. Poseidon, god of the sea and rivers, creators of storm, bringer of earthquake and destruction. He's an interesting dude, and he's actually in one of the stories that I'm going to bring up later that was just fucked up. Like I said, the Greeks are freaks. So anyway, next we have Ares, who is the god of war. He's really not the favorite of anybody because of the fact that his quick temper, his aggressiveness, and he kind of has one of those unquenchable thirsts to start some shit. Artemis is hunting. She's the hunting goddess, wild nature, chastity. I believe she's one of 3 gods that stayed pure, kept her virginity, no touchy. She was the patron of young girls and young women, and she was the protector during childbirth, like a protector during childbirth. I think this is how you say this name, Demeter, one of the oldest, protected both farm and vegetation. She guaranteed the fertility of the earth. So that was pretty cool.
Your attention.
I wrote a little bit extra on Aphrodite because she's one of my favorites. Aphrodite is the goddess of love. She's the goddess of beauty and desire and all aspects of sexuality. She was born from the severed testicles of Uranus. They were cut off and thrown into the water. She became foam, or it became foam. She rose from it. She's considered the oldest.
That's how I make matzo ball soup, by the way.
Hey, there you go. She did play a role in commerce, politics, and warfare. She also protected courtesans and prostitutes. I mean, being the goddess of sexuality, you know, so she was a little ahead of her time, you know, for those sex workers. So that was pretty cool. This one was very short and simple. I couldn't really find too much on this one, but it was Dionysus. God of wine, merriment, and theater.
Theater.
That should be our god,
Theater.
right?
Yeah, I believe he's ours. Yeah, that and what was the other one? Apollo. I don't know if this is civilized art, though. So it is what it is. The next one is Hermes.
I think he has a question.
Do you have a question? Or are you just voting?
I'm just voguing.
Oh, okay.
Really bad voguing.
The next one is Hermes, god, is it god or goddess? I think it's god. Yeah, god. God of trade, wealth, luck, fertility, animal husbandry, sleep, language, thieves, and travel. And he was also the messenger in between. So personally, to me, I think he got shafted a little bit because they're like, we don't want to do all this shit. So this is your task now, because that's a lot of shit to be in, you know. And then I hope I say this right. Hephaestus. There you go. God of fire, metallurgy, and crafts. He was the only god that was a little lame. He had a screwed up foot, and so he was the only one that wasn't a perfect god. And then you have Hades, and we all know who he is. But see, here's the thing: they don't consider him a god because he wasn't sitting on Olympus. So, like, he helped fight with his brother Zeus, with Poseidon, and him fought Kronos and helped defeat him. And so, like, they're like, yeah, so Zeus is going to take the sky, Poseidon's going to take the earth, and you're going to take the underworld. But then, like, he's like, but wait a minute, I'm kind of supposed to be like one of you guys. And they're like, yeah, no, you're in the underground, dude. So kind of got shafted a little bit on that. And even in the beginning, Hades was completely weird. They do have 3 different types of levels of heaven, but I don't remember the names of them. I only remember one because it's Matt Damon movie, and it was Elysium. But yeah, so now we're gonna get into some of the weird shit, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Okay, so this is the story, slightly very dumbed down, just because I took Cliff Notes, of Zeus and Hera. Now, one story says that Hera loved her brother.
Her brother husband?
Her brother husband, yes. It sounds very Arkansas or Oklahoma. But one story is that she had gotten a love charm from Aphrodite and had used it on him to make him fall in love with her. Another story that I read, and it could be, I don't know if it's the Roman story or the Greek story, but it all said Greek, so it's Greek to me right now. Another story was that he had turned himself into a hurt bird because Hera actually really likes animals. She's kind of a bitch, but she likes animals. We all know people that are like that. Anyway, he fakes being a bird, and then when she picks him up to take care of him, he turns back into a man. And then it says he took her, which I'm guessing that's rape. I'm just saying he took her. It doesn't say they made love. It was he took her. So I'm going to say that he raped her. And because she was so embarrassed by the whole debacle, she hadn't married him. Now, one of the weird things about Hera is every year she would go and bathe in the Kanathos. I hope I said that right. Kanathos. Like spring every year she would do this, and it would restore her virginity like she had never been with a man. Now,
where is that?
That's what I was wondering too, but
is it on Google Maps?
I'm not saying, it's just super weird, but that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of like touch on a little bit, is because like everybody in that looks back in history and stuff like that, if these gods are real or not, they look back with like such awe, and it's like, oh yeah, they're like all these gods, but like in the background, it's like fucking Deliverance. Like, I don't understand like how people, like, I never knew it. Like, I just never knew any of this stuff. And so like, I'm reading it and I was like, what the fuck? Really? They're brother and sister? Like, ugh. Like, I don't know about you. Like, what are your guys' take?
And they were worshipped.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the idea is that they came from, I have the Iliad here.
Oh, okay.
And I got into the classics a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And I think the idea is that it's not like there was a whole population of gods, since, they come from this one source. So they had to be related to each other. Does that
Yeah,
make
but
sense?
it's
You know, it's
just-
almost like
super
one
weird.
species and yeah, they didn't have a problem with them marrying their siblings.
Yeah,
Well,
but I
there
think
was
a lot of
there's actually even a story that Zeus slept with his mother, turned into a serpent, and like slept with his mom, and I'm like, that's pretty Freudian. Like,
I can see
yes.
that. Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
I
Freud
think
looked at
because
that.
when you look back, I would say that's also really telling of the society at the time. 'Cause this was like thousands of years ago, and for the most part, people only lived to like 30 or 40 if they're lucky. And it
Yep.
was pretty common actually for like people to actually sleep with their siblings or their parents or something, right? Even in America, that used to happen up until like they kind of discovered DNA and they kind of realized that the kids end up
But
fucked up.
that
And
was the
even
thing
then, there
about
was
the-
also
That was the thing
pedophilia.
about the Torah.
Huh?
You know, the Torah, the old original testament, was talking about like, okay, you're not gonna sleep. I think it was in my bat mitzvah portion. You're not gonna. Oh, it's so much fun when you're 12. You're not gonna sleep with like your sister anymore. You know, and
Yeah.
it was kind of revolutionary. Like, oh, who are these people? They're
Yeah.
not gonna sleep
It's like-
with their
it's
sister.
like
They're
when you look at Old
crazy.
Exactly, because when you look at Old Testament, it's just like, okay, there was a man and a woman, but they made kids, and like they were the only people. So of course, the siblings slept with each other to make more people. It's not like God suddenly
I mean,
created
that's kind of it, but like they say that the story of Adam and Eve is those are the first two that he made. It wasn't the only two that he made. So there's always that too.
I should I'll bring my rabbi with some time on your show, Jessica, because she
Yes.
talks
Oh,
about
and she's a G. Yes,
Wait,
Rabbi.
are we talking in the Torah or in the Catholic Bible? Because the Bible leaves out that part. I read through the first 6.
the Bible takes from oral history. I mean, there
It's a
Yeah,
oral
yeah.
history that got written
hundreds
down.
of thousands of years of sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it was like the
but-
scene
and-
of like
and-
it's
and-
like
and
the
what- I
Nicene
mean,
Creed
matriarchal
that like
society,
assembled all the stories
religions,
together and put them
and-
into.
All
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
So
but I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of different like even when they're putting together the Bible, there's like other versions of the Bible where they're just like, oh, Jesus had a sibling and like all these things, right? So
Right.
it was a group of men that put together all these oral stories.
It wasn't.
well, it's also
Well,
weird
the
too
Torah
because the
wasn't
word
just men. There
homosexual
were-
was never in the Bible.
Oh, I talk about the
Like,
Bible,
not
but
that
I know that the
Some-
Torah is like slightly different, and the Torah
Oh, yeah.
and the Old Testament and the
Some of the
Bible
Torah
are
was
similar in
written
many
by
ways. But there's
women.
things that there's differences in the origin stories and a lot of other stories that are in the Torah that are
Yeah,
not.
there's fascinating scholarship on this.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like for us, it's like at least as a Catholic, for us, Adam and Eve, and then that's it.
We're
But for
talking
you guys,
about
there might have been other people. So
we're talking about some of the weird shit that the gods did.
Yeah.
Now, here is I have to click into this because I actually have to read it verbatim. It's from Wikipedia. It's very small, but it's just, to me, it's fucked up. So, after ascending the throne of the Isle of Crete, I think his name is Minos. Minos competed with his brothers as ruler. Minos prayed to the sea god Poseidon, which actually, come to find out, Minos is a half-child of Zeus as well. So he's basically talking to his uncle, real quick. Side note, that's what I read anyway. He prayed to the sea god Poseidon to send him a snow-white bull as a sign of the god's favor. But he was supposed to sacrifice that bull to honor Poseidon, right? So,
Did
but-
he flake?
no, yeah, absolutely. But owing to the bull's beauty, he decided he wanted to keep him. So Minos believes that the god would accept a substitute sacrifice, which if you
But did he
know,
marry the bull? It was so. I mean, they seem to marry everything.
oh no, this bull did something else. Okay, so to punish Minos, Poseidon made Minos's wife, I hope it's Pasiphae, fall in love with the bull. She had the hang on, wait a minute. She had the craftsman Daedalus fashion a wooden hollow cow, which she climbed into in order to mate with the bull. And the monstrous, hang on, and the monstrous Minotaur was the result of that.
That sounds like the trouble I have to go to get laid.
But isn't that oh my.
It's really a lot of work.
But look at this, okay. She had like, okay, so Poseidon was like, look here, nephew, you didn't do what I asked you to do, so I'm gonna bewitch your wife into liking this cow. This cow is gonna be like her love forever, but like then she goes and has like a fake cow crafted, like, that's a
lot of work.
Like, why?
But see, sex is such a motivator, is it not? I mean, I will clean my house if a hot guy is going to come over. Nothing gets me to clean my house faster.
But
so I get the building the hollow cow completely. Into the bowl. I get
literally climbs into this, like she's just sitting there one day like, I love my husband, and then it's like, moo, and like now she's like, oh, I've never seen you move so beautifully before, like what? Like nobody
doesn't make any sense, Jessica. Love doesn't make any sense.
They move beautifully. Is the mic on?
Especially when they're chewing on that cud and they have those multiple stomachs and everything. It's a huge turn.
But the bull could take out her husband, and and it's like,
well, it could, but
my husband ain't.
I wonder if the spell broke though after she had sex with the bull, or if she went back for like seconds and thirds.
If the what broke?
Like after she had sex, like she woke up, she's like, what the fuck did I do? And like,
I don't know though. I don't really know. I don't know if they killed it afterwards. I do know that they took that Minotaur because like it started going crazy.
Yeah, but that had to be such a probably
a pain in the ass. So basically,
I mean, women will do a lot for a large penis. Can't we just I mean, that just had to be on that ball. Her husband, the king, probably microphallus. Let's be honest.
Look, I'm just saying.
Yes, women will do and he's parading that fucking bull around. Sorry. But
women will do some shit for they will do some shit for some good dick. I don't know about large dick, because just because you have large dick don't make it good dick, number one. Number two, that is beyond it. There's only physically there's only so much room before it impales you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't even know how she survived.
You take the risk. You're just overcome. It's like being possessed.
Okay. So we went a little bit over that story. Here's another story.
Yeah, bring us another one, Jessica. These are good.
These are weird as fuck. But no, okay. So for me, all throughout a lot of the Greek mythology, there's parents and kids, and they're fighting, and the kids might overthrow the parents. So what do the parents do? The father eats them.
Oh, is this which one?
Swallows them whole. Like with Athena.
I mean,
hang on, with Athena, he swallowed Athena with her mother, or while she was pregnant, swallowed her whole, and then he got a really fucked off headache, and he was like, somebody hit me in the head and stop my misery. And before he knew it, Athena was coming out of his forehead, fully armed, and fucking.
You know what? Kids do that.
I don't know how guys can
kids be like that.
Hang on, though.
I just gotta eat them.
I just don't understand how. I understand how women can eat their children. Okay, I do. Yes. I do. But I don't understand how men can eat their children.
Well, I think it has more to do with how present you are in the child's life. Research actually shows that it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, as long as you bond with the baby and you're present for them, they will see you as a primary support spouse. So maybe
what I'm saying, a lot of this had to do with preserving themselves and their legacy and their patriarchy. Absolutely, because they're just like, oh, nobody's going to do this because Zeus did it with Kronos. Kronos did it with his father. Can't remember his father's name, but wait, was it Kronos?
It's very dominant, this
So,
idea
like,
of
it
like
just-
kill or be killed between parents and children.
Well,
Yeah, that's what started the whole Oedipus
Kronos.
complex.
Like the story of Kronos, like his mother, Zeus's mother, I think, Rhea. Yeah. It's either Rhea or Gaia, but I think Gaia is the mother of Kronos and Rhea. Anyway, I could be wrong. Probably am. But Zeus was hidden from the whole thing on Mount Ida, I believe. I think that's what it was called. But he was hidden because his mom wrapped a rock in baby swaddlings, and he came over and ate it. And I'm like, but wait a minute, you ate his brothers and sisters before. Wouldn't you know that one's not squishy? Like, how are you so smart that you swallow a fucking rock? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, and then
they weren't looking for logic, Jessica.
But I mean, come on.
They were just,
you're supposed to be super smart and all this other stuff, but like he ate a rock.
Would you rather he fuck a bull?
If you're told this when you're a child, you just, I mean,
I don't know about a bull.
I'm being stupid.
I don't know, dude, but it's just crazy because like you look at them in such awe and like the society of which they were from, which is, Roman and Greeks, like fucking worship these people. But yet on the other side, it's like, it's deliverance. It's some weird shit, but yet nobody wants to notice that because they don't want to fear the God's wrath.
Because of our morals today. I mean, we've got a few thousand years, and
a little bit more.
So,
but yeah. It's just.
Look at what people are taught in the church, right? As children, and it's not logical. But if
because I had shared
as a child that these are the deities, that's it. That's reality. So.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the church teaches you that Mary was like this virgin gifted by God with a baby. And I'm just like, nah, bitch, she sent some magical sperm to impregnate her. Like that's how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems funny because like there's more and more stories. Like Zeus was a huge whore. He slept with everything. But here's the weird thing I don't understand. I don't know if it was a different time period or it hadn't happened yet, but Aphrodite, Hera, and another goddess had a whole like thing where they were trying to figure out
they were competing.
Right. And so I'm like, why would you go to Aphrodite for a love charm? She could have gave you a hag spell. Like, I don't understand it. Maybe I overthink shit a little bit, but like, if you think about it, like what are the gods of today?
But wasn't like Aphrodite one of the most beautiful goddesses that were?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, if you think about in our society now, like if we thought about the gods of today, it would be sloganeering, it would be commercialism, it would be capitalism, it would be celebrityism and following
consumerism. What do we worship?
Yeah, I think people argue that like superheroes are the gods of today. Superheroes and then also celebrities.
You can think about it. Thor is obviously like a Zeus-like character, but I mean Odin would really be that. But we won't go too far into like Ragnarok stuff. But on topical, you've got all these superheroes that have these superpowers or godlike powers. Some of them don't even have powers because we have to touch on that if you really want to talk about superheroes. Because Black Widow, Hawkeye, all of them, they're fucking useless if they didn't have the training.
What I don't like, I will add that
Black
Widow actually had the super agent formula. They just never they made her human in the movies.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Oh
soldier,
my
yeah,
God,
super soldier.
misogyny is
They just depowered a
endless.
woman. They're just like, we don't want to have to
Yeah.
deal with like explaining that.
Yeah,
They're just
no,
like,
I did
Yeah,
like
they
it when
still
you
can't
first
handle
really saw Scarlett Johansson. She's in the ring with John
Kicking
Favreau.
ass.
He's like, I'm gonna go, easy on you. And she's just like, all right, I'm gonna climb you like a fucking tree, and I'm gonna take you down. And I'm like, bitch, yes, like.
And then that first scene where she's like beating up a bunch of agents in the hallway, and then Happy's like going after that one guy, punching him, and at the end he's just like, I got him, and he turns around, there's like 8 guys on the floor. She's like,
She's like, yeah, Happy was fun to really kind of play into things. He was the catalyst of Iron Man 3. He was part catalyst of the reason why he just really went all ape shit and stuff.
I love seeing Happy in Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I really I liked the idea of the humanity that came of him, that he was able to be humiliated by a child in the newer Spider-Man movies, because he's like, look, Tony's busy, I don't have time for you, you're a fucking kid. And then at the end it's like, well, here's all your shit, sir, and I'm gonna go, lick my wounds. But there was so many plots in there where you could just been like, Tony could have been like, reached out and said, hey kid, we heard all the information, thanks for doing the job, but kind of kick back. He would have said that, half that movie wouldn't have made fucking sense. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but like I said, like there's so much like in history that is interesting for me, because I just love the idea of it. But like to follow and to really like grasp like at the gods, at the society, I did something stupid yesterday. I thought that the story of Troy was real.
I think there was a war there.
I thought that it was an actual place, but but wait a minute.
It was.
I researched it, and they're saying that it is a possibility that Troy was real, but I haven't actually read it, so I don't want to say that Troy was real again, because I literally stuck my foot in my mouth, and I was just like, oh yeah, well, that didn't sound smart at all. Like, you have those moments where you're just like, well, yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
Somebody else who's just like, yeah, no, I actually know this really well, but they're very gentle about it, and so like they're just like, yeah, but no, like, nice try, hon, but no. And so like I had that humbling moment. And if you think about it, in the comic books and in a whole bunch of other stuff, there's a lot of humble moments that happen. There are teaching moments. So I mean, it's just, I don't know, I'm just a giant nerd. I love comic books. I love Star Wars. I love freaking all sorts, Teen Titans. I just love all sorts
Chris
of
Evans.
Yeah. Isn't there something going around with Chris Evans right now?
I don't know. I could watch him.
I heard about that.
I could watch him read Yelp reviews.
Okay, so that's what that means. Because I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm in my own little world.
I'd rather have a movie.
I don't look for dick pics. I don't look for dick pics. Guys try and send them to me. They're like, you want to see my dick pic?
We don't want those.
No, but here's the thing.
Lies.
It is not lies. It is not lies, sir. They're like,
I've had many requests from women to see my dick.
But that's from you, and that's
I've
like
had many offers.
But they know.
We're
talking about if a guy sends it without being asked.
There
you
go.
know what I do? I tell them, like, you want to see my dick? And I'm like, well, do you want to see mine? And then they're like, huh? And so like homophobia and transphobia kind of, gets them away. But then there was one guy who was like, you know what? I do. So I sent him a picture of Dick Van Dyke, because like I don't have.
Sweet.
I would have sent him a picture of my dildo, just like, are you packing this much? Like, you can't hang, we can't bag.
After this, I would love to get recommendations of dildos. I'm very overwhelmed by the selection.
Just get the rabbit,
I can help
vibration.
Just set up a Zoom session. I can help you.
You can't return it. You gotta get it right.
Well, technically you actually can, which is another thing. I have a joke about that. You can return it. It makes it kind of discerning.
But would you buy from a place that allows returns? I'd be a little.
Exactly. You would never know. That's the thing. You never know with any place. You kind of just have to
DM me if you could, because too many choices. And we're a diverse panel. Like, it's so interesting because you can get dildos in different skin tones.
It's
Oh,
true.
my.
So then I was like, well, maybe I have to get a few to show nobody that. Am I echoing?
A little
No,
bit.
you're good.
Mother effer. This was so important to show how open-minded and accepting and inclusive my yoni is.
I honestly
I'm
go with
very
the purple option.
How did we
about,
go
like,
from
do I
that
have
to
to pay
dildos?
attention?
Like,
If I get like a light-skinned dildo, is that leaning toward white supremacy?
Just get a purple one. Just get a purple one.
I get a purple. I get
Get a
a purple
purple
one.
Don't worry
have
about
to
supremacy.
Get a blue one.
So then
Get a
I'm gonna
green one.
imagine like I'm fucking Grimace. It would
So
be a little.
so-
We'll talk, Deb.
Grimace fucking
Thank
good.
you. Yeah, I really.
All right.
I'm in between guys,
with
and I
that,
need
folks-
the assistance.
With that, folks, it's nearing our 10:30 mark of the show finale, and we talked about everything from Marvel to Black Panther to movies we hate to dildos. That came up. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you really want a good one, you got to get one with the attachments. I'm just saying, the
Oh,
ones.
there's some good
Thank
ones,
you
some
so
bad
much.
ones with the
I-
attachments.
I-
Again,
I'm with you too.
But we
gonna
will
work on
discuss this off camera because this is not a topic that I thought I would
I'll
be
do a
discussing.
Zoom show about it.
please,
All right.
invite me.
So
Please, I can put slides together.
Oh, sweet.
okay. Well, hey, you know what? I have this platform. We could do an all-sex
Yeah,
show.
you have now created a new universe by yourself, Jessica. Look
Yeah.
at what is going to come out of this.
What'd you say?
Brilliant.
Poor Cordy.
Oh,
Hey,
he loved it. Please.
Are you okay, bud? He's like, I'm
I'm good.
fine,
Like,
well,
what
he's
happens when I
doing
surround by women? He's just like,
I'm
He's going to
good.
send us all dick
All right,
pics.
so I'm gonna take.
I don't send dick pics. I don't send dick pics. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm gonna take you guys off.
She's like, damn it.
Thank you. Shut your face. You're going first. All right, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna hide a couple of you. Mr. Corday, I need to find your thing. Hang on real quick. I am gonna put up your oh, yeah, that doesn't work very well. Let's do it this way. How about this way? Nope. Still looks weird. Anyway, people should be able to see it on the screen. This is his Instagram and Twitter handle. Do you have any shows coming up, sir?
Damn, I do. So I'm doing a show in Boise, Idaho in 2 weeks, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday. And then I have a Zoom show that Friday. And then the following Tuesday, I think it's the 27th or 29th, I'm performing for my university. I'm headlining at my university for I think it's between 500 to 800 students. So yeah.
Nice. That's gonna be nice. All right.
So that's gonna be dope. Yeah.
Well, I really thank you for being on the show. I know that it got weird there at the end, maybe a little bit for you. I don't know. It's dildos and I was just like, what the hell? How'd we get on this subject? But we were talking about Aphrodite and some other shit. So who knows?
Yeah.
But hey, I appreciate you being on the show, sir.
No problem.
And hopefully you come again. No pun intended on that one. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I absolutely enjoyed having you on, and thank you for coming in.
No problem.
All righty, and next we are going to have Miss Cynthia come back.
hi.
Wait a minute. There you go. And we're going to move these around again. Boo! So do you have any shows coming up? This is her Instagram and Facebook handle at Cynthia in public. So there you go.
I do. I have a show every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. We stream it on Zoom as well as Facebook Live, so you can catch it on either platform. I do have another show coming up too. It's a little bit secret now. It's in the works, but it'll be on Friday, September 25th. and that'll be an all-star show. So that's the
Nice.
best of the best comedians ever. We have comedians that came off of the Punchline and SF, or
Nice.
Punchline or Cobbs. It's just going to be an all-star lineup. So if you're just looking
is it a mostly NorCal, California?
mostly
people,
NorCal,
or-
yes.
All right.
Mostly NorCal. But I'm just excited because, I launched my production company, Bangoo Productions, like a couple weeks ago. And the mission is essentially to create a Comedy Central, but for Black people, for women, for Indigenous people, for LGBTQ, literally for all the marginalized groups that are normally tokenized in comedy. Like, you get front and center in all of my shows. Like, you're never going to see like 5 dudes and 1 girl in the lineup. You're going to see a diverse set of comedians. A lot of different perspectives, old and young.
Absolutely.
And
That's why if you look on the bottom of the ticker, it says Neverland Comedy Presents. Neverland Comedy is all about that same thing. LGBTQ, Indigenous, people that are of minority, all sorts of people, women, everything. Like if they don't have like their strongest voice, I'm here to help them get a platform to give them that strong voice. And it's not all just about comedy either. It could be all aspects, be it music or anything like that. So absolutely, me and you should collaborate on some stuff.
oh yeah, for sure. But
Because
if
I'm
you believe,
totally down with that.
yeah, but if you believe comedy should be for everyone and you're looking for some joy in your life, as well as heckling, because we heckle each other, it's literally like people just roasting each other the entire show, then check out Cynthia in Public. You can the link to my production company's there. Just follow both pages on Instagram and you'll be in the know for everything.
Absolutely, dude. I will totally plug you on this page, the what freaking day is it page. I will make sure that happens. I have been super blessed by not only your fun take on many things tonight, but your knowledge of dildos. Like, thank you for that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I will see you again, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week, because this is just the beginning. All righty. And then where is my other friend? My other friend, my other friend. Wait, where'd she go? Uh-oh. Did we lose Deb?
No, I'm here.
Where are
I'm
you?
here. I'm here.
I hear you.
I'm here.
I hear you, but I don't see you. Hang on.
You don't see me.
No.
I don't see me. I didn't do anything. It was all on your end.
It is so
You
weird.
disappeared me.
I Thanos'd you. Oh,
Uh-oh.
shit. Where
Can't
are you?
Put a ring on.
No.
I mean, take it off.
Oh my God,
Hurry,
where
get
are
me
you?
back.
Well, if you guys can still hear her,
Yeah.
I don't know where
Okay.
she went. She's not in my setup whatsoever.
Okay. Well, I'm magic. So I just want to promote Chicks with Mics on Facebook for women comics, and our
Yes.
Saturday open mic for women. It is a beautiful community, a place for us to support each other moving forward in comedy, reaching higher, breaking the glass curtain.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that sweet? One of the members came up with that.
It's a little punny. I like it.
Cool. And yeah, no, nobody's booking me on good shows.
What the
So
fuck is this?
I know. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go buy a dildo. I'm so upset.
Yeah, that's what we took away from this.
I hope that
Go ahead.
wasn't like a form of Zoom bombing, Jessica. I apologize. I just couldn't. Cynthia brought it up, and
Oh, it's okay. It's
so
okay. Like I said,
exciting.
this is a riffing show. This is not very like super scheduled. This is what we're doing kind of shit.
I love
Yeah.
it. And it just, I love what you're doing and the moving squares and graphics. And thanks for putting my handles up.
Yes,
and,
those are your handles on
I would
Facebook
never
and
do that.
Instagram.
I'm sorry.
I said, yeah, those are your handles.
I
on
know,
Facebook,
I
Instagram.
know. It's if people didn't do that, I would never be able to. Yeah, look at what you did. It's like you did the homework. I'm so bad at that. You're inspiring me. You're my
Well, thank
role
you.
model.
I try to be, one of the things, because see, I was a campfire victim, and I'm supposed to be getting some sort of financial stimulation for
Right.
PG&E. One of the things that I'm doing with that is I'm actually going to go back to school to be a history teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm
Mazel tov.
definitely, well, in this frame, I'm pretty sure I butchered the whole, I might have
You are
butchered a
figuring
bit of the
it
Greek
out.
gods,
Your
but at the same
enthusiasm
time,
showed.
it was a very topical. It wasn't super deep dive, because for me, the deeper you dive, the harder the damn names get, and I did not want to butcher or murder somebody's names. Because I was like, dude, say these 3 times fast, like it's not happening. But
Yeah.
no, it's definitely a passion of mine. It's I've really had some really kick-ass teachers in my life that if they weren't there for me, then I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. And then also on top of it, like I just spent the last almost 8 years at home with a child.
Right.
So I
did get out of the house a little.
I did. Yeah. No, I didn't get to finish my my education. I did start it, but I didn't get to finish my education. I'm at the very beginning of starting the educational
and
process.
so the baby's old enough that you can focus on your education now.
Yeah, kind of. I do have a slightly special needs son, so it'll be a little bit different but this is all contingent on other things. But at the same time, I just really want to teach, and I want to like goof off and stuff like that. I'm going to minor in photography because teachers don't get paid much. So
really?
No, yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness, I learned something new every day. Well, it's interesting you talking about the Greek gods, because an idea I've had is I would love to do a little TV show, and one of the things I want to do is read the classics. And I know that's like what?
They have audiobooks for that.
It's fun to I like to riff. I like to riff on
like read it
that I read. I mean, the stories, like you were showing, some of the stories are just so goofy. They're really perfect. It's just a beautiful setup, and it's built in beautifully.
Well, if you ever want to put on a show, or if you ever want to do something, let me know. I have ways to make this platform work for you. I can do graphics. We will have fun. We will have some fun.
Always.
So I am going to hide this little emoji now. And so just letting you guys know, one of the things that you can do to find me is you can go on @JRoberts5377 on your Instagram, on your TikTok, because yes, I do make TikToks because I'm a jackass. And there's many other places that not really many other. I do have a Twitter handle, but I forgot. Hang on, wait a minute. I forgot what it is. And then you guys can already find me at Jessica Roberts right here on Facebook. I do have a few things, like I said earlier in the show. This Tuesday, though, on Stab Comedy Theater, I am hosting at 8 o'clock the Obscure Movie Trivia Show. It is a ladies' night this night, and we are going to be doing the movie Pride and Prejudice. It is an absolute beautiful movie, but it is very laden with misogyny that a lot of people don't see because their hormones are pumping. So it is what it is. But I am looking forward to hosting the show and taking the reins for my buddy, whose name happens to be Buddy. Also on the 24th or 25th, I'm also on Stab again for the Body Posse show. That is going to be really fun to do. Also on October 4th, you can catch me on the UK Pun Off. It is my first pun show, so I'm either going to get absolutely murdered or it'll just be a fun experience all around. I love puns, so either I'm going to laugh my ass off or people are going to laugh their asses off at me, or hopefully by me. So we'll see what happens. And then there's also another gingerbread what's it called? Deb, you're still on. What is it? Gingerbread?
What?
The
Oh.
Gingerbread Foundation. That's supposed to be on the 20th.
Oh, the UK show.
The UK show. Yeah.
Oh, September 28th, I believe.
Yeah, it's a cool
yes,
that supports
single
single
parents.
parents.
The line is all single parents. It's based in London, but
Yeah. I don't
like
know if
you
I'm
from all
actually
over.
on that 100% because I haven't been reached out to, but I just put it out there just because even watching this show is going to be really inspirational for some people because being a single parent, being a comedian, and you know, also there's other stuff. They provide mental health services and many other things that single parents need. And it's not just for women. It is both male and female or whatever you identify
That's right.
as.
It's just single parents.
It's just single parents. So it's really awesome. It's a cool
Because they
organization.
actually support single parents in
Yes,
other
they do.
countries.
Yes, they do. Well, you know, they also have like maternity and paternity leave, and they actually make them go home and bond with their children and stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. We don't need to grease the wheel of fucking capitalism tonight. So we're good with that.
Good.
But hey, like I said, thank you guys for being a part of the show. Down here, you're welcome. Down here, if you feel like it, my PayPal is there. You could always donate to the show for the running costs of things. And also, if we get crazy with the donations, I can pay the comics. So that's even better. Everybody likes getting a little payment.
Get paid.
Exactly, because you know it's not like we all have people knocking down our doors. Not yet, anyway. Not yet, but you know that would be a little Gestapo of me to say. So you know,
we're on our way.
I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. You know, with that. But either way, anyway, I really enjoy doing these shows every week. We did go a little bit later than I expected, but you know what? Fuck it. It's quarantine. Do you guys have a watch? I don't.
Does anybody have anything to do?
Yeah, except you know, watch TV, play with yourself, and
order a dildo.
Write stupid shit on Facebook. So anyway, I'm very glad that you guys stuck around for the whole show. I will see you guys here next week when we talk about some other weird shit in history. I might bring up the Mormon Massacre though, because that one seems quite interesting that nobody seems to remember. So let's get a little religious next week. Who knows? So this is Jessica Roberts. I've been your host. I really hope that you enjoyed the show and come back again next week. We will see you then.